Now, Vaishnavi Serene brings forth another important innovation that shall set the trend for all housing projects in the future. Off-site precast construction technology. Vaishnavi Group proudly partners with Kev Katera to introduce advanced European precast technology for the best-in-class residential development project, Vaishnavi Serene.
Kef Infra is an off-site manufacturing company. We do turnkey building solutions. What does that mean? Essentially, instead of having different contractors in place for finishes, MEP, civil works, your glazing, we eliminate all of those processes. Instead, everything is manufactured in the factory and just assembled on site. And Vaishnavi is one of our first key clients that is part of that journey to fast forward India. We work well as a team. Both of us have the same synergies. So it's been going very well.
What is precast technology?
Precast technology is essentially traditional construction taken into a factory. Just like how the car assembly brought in the assembly lines, that's exactly what we're doing. Every building has standard, walls, beams, columns. Everything is just done in an assembly line fashion with robots and produced. The advantages of that is that it's much faster. You don't have as much labor doing the job as well. It's also stronger as a material. We automate everything. So there are robots that lay out the concrete, put in the steel, make the cutouts. You're improving the quality because it's a controlled environment, and it makes it much more seamless. We use pre-stressed beams. What those are is that we use steel rods that are pulled at high tension by machines, and then the concrete is poured to make the beams. Why we do this is that it makes the beam much stronger than how it would be if done conventionally.
At the manufacturing stage, these are rigorously quality controlled and tested.
Even the grade of concrete we use has to be a higher grade than traditional construction. After we pour the concrete, we test the strength. We do a 3-day strength test, a 7-day strength test, and a 28-day. And for every single element, we have to do this procedure. Steam curing is much more efficient than just environment cooling down the concrete. What happens is that it just takes 8 to 12 hours to cure an element. So we reduce time and increase quality with steam curing.
The walls are cast in a standard size, so they align perfectly with each other.
If you're building an apartment building traditionally, you're never going to get 100% consistency in every single wall. Because for us it's an automated process and we have an assembly line making the walls, we ensure that every single panel has the same quality and finish for the whole building.
These are then transported to the site of construction and assembled.
In terms of the foundation, it's still done conventionally, but once we go above the foundation, which is the walls, the columns, the beams, everything comes from the factory by trailer. Once a floor is complete, before we start the next floor, we dropped in the toilet pods. Now the toilet pods come in fully finished, waterproofed, tested in the factory. All that we do is place the pod in the position and connect it to the main pipes. We use a process called building information modeling. So the whole building is in one software with every single detail of the building. So if there happens to be a leak or a crack or some element that has to be changed, we have the information of the manufacturer, the quality test, how to change it. So it's just as simple as looking at the model and replacing the element.
Assembling the precast materials at the site eliminates undue delay. The advantages are many. Precast technology is 1.5 times faster than regular construction. The technology reduces debris at the construction site.
In terms of how long the building can last, we say we design for a 100-year building. We take into account which seismic zone the building is in, so we make sure that the concrete grade that we use is earthquake resistant for that location.
The construction process is quickened and quality is even be maintained and vastly superior.
As a Vaishnavi Serene customer, you can expect your home in half the time with far superior quality and with cost efficiency both in build and long-term maintenance costs.
Welcome to Vaishnavi Serene. Welcome to the future. Vaishnavi Group, building from the heart.